Hi friends, this is Leslie from a series of Frugal Thoughts. I am doing this video today. I have been analyzing and reviewing some of the books that I read in my 20s and 30s that helped me kind of change the way I looked at my life and my job situation and things like that, so that I could live a more happy life. And the definition of frugality is, or a frugal person is someone who can live happily with less. And that is what I try to do. I am going to tell you about the thing that has I've also had a huge impact on my life, and over the last couple of 2 years, I guess it is now, and that is the whole philosophy of minimalism. I would say I started this about 2 years ago. I don't know why. It was maybe at the beginning of the year. I don't know what happened. But I got into the videos by the minimalists. Their names are Joshua Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus. They're called the Minimalists. If you go to minimalist.org or .com, it will come up. I highly recommend. At the time I started listening to their podcasts, and when I was at the gym or walking around or whatever, and I just loved them. And the journey was that I had gotten to the point after 5 children and accumulating all their toys and et cetera, that my house was pretty much a disaster. And I had a friend who came over here and was helping me, not helping me clean, but was telling me about her mother who had too much stuff in her life. And she made the comment, Mary Beth, that her mother held on to, they're called Slurpee cups. It's like a water ice cup. I think Mary Beth is one of 6 kids, and she said because my mother will hold on to every Slurpee cup she ever had, because she's afraid that if she has people over and if she runs out of glasses or cups, we won't have enough cups for her guests. So then she would serve them in a Slurpee cup. And she laughed about how ridiculous that was, but I said but she wasn't laughing at her mother. She understood where her mother was coming from. And Maribeth might not realize, but when she said that to me, I don't think I keep Slurpee cups, but it made me realize that I was holding on to a whole lot more stuff that I needed to hold on to for the what ifs. And I kind of forget, because it's been a while since I've watched or listened to The Minimalist, but I think he calls them what if items, or if so, or what if items, which are, what if we need this color black pen? I'm going to hold on to this just in case we need this black pen. The other thing he said that made a big difference and impact in my life is that with very little exception, you can almost always find or buy or recreate what it is that you got rid of. So the goal is to get rid of the extra stuff in your life, get rid of all the extra stuff, and to live a minimalist lifestyle. And one of the points he makes is that if you do decide to throw out this pen, if you need to, you can get another pen. I think he said for less than $20. He said you can buy a whole pack of these pens for $20, and I'm paraphrasing. And it made me realize that all the, I might have had 20 beach towels. The reality of it is we probably only need 12. There's 7 people in our family plus maybe 5 other people. I don't need 20 towels. I can get rid of 8. I said to my kids, we always, my boys and my girls and whatever, we have a whole bunch of dresses or a whole bunch of pairs of pants or a whole bunch of pairs of shoes. We don't need 10 pairs of tan chinos. We could probably get away with 3, and let's get rid of the other 7. One of the other things that I learned, and that is a definite byproduct of being a minimalist, is the happiness you get when you get rid of the extra 7 pairs of pants, because you realize that you're giving them to someone who really needs them. And that made me, when I started donating, well, I've always donated, I've never thrown out anything, which is part of the problem, that when I started donating the extra 7 pairs of chinos, it made me realize that it made me happy knowing that someone who really might need the chinos and who could not afford the chinos, the tan chinos, was able to get them. If I donated them to Goodwill or the Salvation Army or someone who might not have been able to afford the $22 for a pair of new chinos, could buy them for $2 at Salvation Army. And that there was a happiness for me in knowing that was equal to knowing that I had those extra 7, far exceeded that knowing that I had the extra 7 pairs of chinos. it also made me realize very much so that all the stuff in my life and in our house and in our world was, it just pulls you down, and that when you are looking at all this stuff in your house, it's just adding a level of confusion. It's, I call it visual chaos. It just adds chaos. The minimalists are really pretty interesting. There's a gentleman I work with. His name is Skip. Hi, Skip. He doesn't know about this channel, but I stopped him one day because every day, year round, he wears the exact same outfit. He wears a pair of tan chinos, a light blue Oxford cloth button down, and a blue sweater. It is classic. He looks great. He wears it in the summer. He wears it in the winter. In the summer, he said, oh, sometimes I might have to take my sweater off when I walk down to take the train, but I'm always cold in these drafty buildings, and so I got it. But the thing that made me realize, and I stopped Skip, and I asked him, I said, Skip, how long have you been dressing like this? Because I had started to go down to like 5 work outfits that I wore Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday when I'm working. And he said he'd been doing it pretty much his whole life, but he'd gotten even, he said, I just realized that I was spending so much time wondering what shirt to wear and what sweater to wear or what tie to wear or what pair of pants to wear and it just, he got it. And I said, wow, you're a minimalist. And he was like, what's minimalist? He didn't even know what it was. And as he was describing, he eats this, you know, he eats very similarly. He's a very generous guy. He was telling me about all the things he does. But it's just living your life without the emotional and psychological and visual clutter. He said, my closet is just a pile of tan, 5 or 6 pairs of tan chinos, 5, he said. And I said, really, when people see Skip, no one's seeing what he's wearing. They're just seeing his face. And that's what I've told my children and, other people that, if you notice me, I tend to wear a lot of black turtlenecks in the winter. I have 5 or 6 different black turtlenecks that I wear. I'm trying to hide my neck partly, but I'm also just keeping it even, getting rid of all the extraneous stuff. I'm not 100%, but I'm really pretty simple with what I wear. The summer months, I tend to maybe wear some pink and some white in there, but it's pretty simple. The reason why minimalism is an important topic of conversation in a frugality channel is because I have here a byproduct of minimalism is that by not spending money on junk, you save money. And that has definitely been true once I started doing and following and hearing more to the, really following minimalism. I've stopped spending so much money. And so that is a really good thing. So I wanted to, and I will be discussing minimalism a lot on this channel and making references to it. So I wanted to have an initial conversation with where I got it out there about the fact that I am trying to adhere to the principles of minimalism. I'm not always perfect, but I'm trying to do that. And that minimalism is a great way for you to ultimately save money and be frugal. It's a frugal way to live because you just get all the extraneous stuff out of there or the visual clutter that you do not need, and you will not spend time maintaining, and you don't, all of the above. So anyway, if this is content that you like, please hit the like button and please subscribe. My name is Leslie, and this has been a series of Frugal Thoughts. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.